Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, has witnessed a tremendous growth in the construction industry in the recent past. As sky-rises continue to define the limits each passing day, the intricacy of the architecture and design is becoming ever more important. A salient favorite and a household name in this regard is Lanka Tiles, coming under the Lanka Wall Tiles group of companies.
Respect your preference. You need to respect my preference. We live in a VUCA world. VUCA meaning volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. If you take last 40 years, we live in a VUCA world. We are used to volatile environment. Management to me is a very logical function. Leadership is not logical. It's a psychological thing. I don't have much vision really, but people have vision. So I always try to take vision from the people, or if I don't have vision, I love vision.
Failures are the events, not the people. As a company leader, how do you embrace such failures and how do you celebrate and reward success?
Pujasane oba hidwa. Obata pudaname lokayamai heta. Obata erigidi nagidi. I feel very sad when we speak to young people because if you speak to 100 people today, 100 young people today, 100 youth today, 99 of them want to leave this country.
Good morning everyone. Without any doubt, today we are going to listen to one inspiring Sri Lankan business leader. As we listen, I am pretty sure that we will choose him as the role model and follow his leadership traits. He is none other than Mr Mahendra Jayasekara, the Managing Director of Lanka Tiles Group. Our main intention of this discussion is to surface the leadership traits and strategies through his leadership profile, which will surely inspire and enlighten young entrepreneurs and executives like us. Before starting the discussion, let me give a quick brief about Mr. Jayasekara. Mr. Jayasekara is the Managing Director of Lanka Tiles Group, which is the leading player in Sri Lanka's ceramic industry. In addition to that, he is holding directorships in other firms, leading firms in Sri Lanka, and also serves as the non-executive and executive director of other listed companies in Sri Lanka. In profession, Mr. Jayasekara is a member of CA Sri Lanka and fellow member of Institute of Certified Management Accountants in Sri Lanka. He is the president of Sri Lanka Ceramic and Glass Council. He has been serving Lanka Tiles for 25 years, and his leadership style has taken the company to the market leader in Sri Lanka. Mr. Jayasekara, it is with deep pride and honor to have you here today for this discussion. Despite of your busy schedule, on behalf of PIM MBA 2021 Subgroup B4, I would like to extend our gratitude and honor for accepting our request and giving us this great opportunity.
I won.
Thank you for giving this opportunity to us, Mr. Jayasekara, on sharing some thoughts on leadership management. And with your busy schedule, we would like to know about this topic you brought with your experiences. So to start off, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling very good. Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Jayasekara, when you look back at your life, there can be plenty of life experiences that will help to be who you are today. So considering them all, how do you define yourself?
Actually, looking back my work and professional life, say 25, 30 years now, I would define myself as a hard-working, honest person. And that is my definition. And I don't think I have any other very special qualities.
Any examples?
No, in the sense, I would do whatever it takes to achieve the goal that is before me, or what I have set out for myself. And I'm a very persevering person, and I like to take challenges. And I have faced many challenges in the last 25, 30 years. I have had experience in turning around 6 companies, and And sometimes I thought, it's not worth it to turn around sick companies really, but I keep making the same mistake by taking on sick companies and trying to turn them around. So, what it tells me is that I am very persevering, and I generally I enjoy taking big challenges really, and I work hard. So that's my experience really.
Okay. So you said you like to take sick companies and take on challenges. So what are the main leadership philosophies that you follow and draw inspiration from in order to manage such a workforce as it like Lanka Tiles?
See, it's like this. I clearly understand the difference between management and leadership. Management and leadership are very different things. Management to me is a very logical function. Really. Everything you do logically is management, but leadership is not logical. It's a psychological thing. So, I always try to create a very strong bond with the people I work, and that is how I try to inspire them, and I always try to make them also leaders, and I also tell them that they must build psychological bonds with their peer groups and subordinates, and that is how we can drive people towards a common goal, and that is the leadership philosophy I am following. I always try to define it as a psychological bond with the people, and I also try to take the vision from the people, because I don't think I am a visionary. I am not a visionary. I don't have much vision really, but people have vision. So if I don't have vision, I always try to take vision from the people, or if I don't have vision, I love vision. So that is how I drive my management philosophy or leadership philosophy.
So, interesting thoughts. What are your strategies in building the leadership ladder in the organization?
No, actually, building the leadership ladder is difficult because, see, however much we talk about the succession planning and things like that, one hard reality we need to understand is that, under a strong leader, a strong deputy leader finds it difficult to survive, right? Unless two of them have a very good understanding about what leadership is, what their preferences are, because my preferences are not the same as your preferences. So I need to respect your preference. You need to respect my preference. We need to understand each other, and then only we can, build leadership. So building a leadership ladder involves, getting people to understand each other, respect each other's preferences, and then only you can build a leadership ladder really. Otherwise you can't build a leadership ladder, it will collapse. Because people, if they don't really understand each other, understand each other's preferences, understand the fact that everybody is different, right? Every person is different. You can't build a leadership ladder. So what I try to do is make our people understand that what is most important is to understand people, working with them, and then automatically the leadership builds up really in the organization.
In that sense, now we live in a VUCA world, VUCA meaning volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. In such an environment, building and putting people into these leadership skills, what are the main objectives, and how do you go about getting those objectives done in such a fast changing environment?
See, VUCA world is not something new to Sri Lanka. If you take last 40 years, we lived in a VUCA world, right? We had economic transformation, then we had the war, the civil war, and now we have another crisis in our hand. So we have always operated, in our life, our work life, we have always operated in a VUCA world, and that is what we are used to really. We are used to volatile environment, we are used to uncertain environment, we are used to complex environment, and we are used to ambiguous environment. And ambiguous, more than the ambiguous environment, we are used to dealing with ambiguous policy frameworks really. Because our policy framework in this country for the last 40 years has been ambiguous really. It's not clear, and it changes, it's not consistent, it is inconsistent. So what we need to understand is that we have to guide people to navigate through this VUCA world really, and understand the fact that we are operating in a very uncertain environment and we have to be ready for that. Actually, that is why a lot of our companies are not growing fast enough. Our economy is not growing fast enough because of that. Because it's difficult to respond to that. You know, when you make an investment also, you try to make the investment in the bare necessary way, you know, bare limited way. So, I mean, you don't go the full scale, you don't go the whole top grade. So, that is because it's VUCA. It's difficult to predict, difficult to forecast. So, you know, that is the challenge. So, we have to make people understand that.
Challenging environment, but everyone wants to be a success.
Yeah.
No one wants to be a failure.
Sure.
So, successes and failures are the events, not the people. So, in your career, also you must have gone through such success cases as well as failures. So, in your way, as company leader, how do you embrace such failures and how do you celebrate and reward success?
See, it's an interesting thing. What you need to understand is in the private sector, especially, right? When things are good, everything is good. When things are bad, everything is bad. Nanda Mali captures it very well, right? Saying, I don't know whether you have heard this song, Puja Sane over Hindua. Obata Pudaname Loke Maigeta, Obate Reading and right? Then she also says, Yasasin Keta Isurin Babalana Kala, Obage Venumada, Giyake, right? Yasasin Keta Isurin Irihena Kala, Sinaha Air Varadake. That's right. That's my life. It has been my life. Because I have had successes, I have had failures. I have had bouquets, I have had regrets. And the same people who praise me when I succeed, blame me when I fail. So I need to understand that. And you know, Buddha also captures it. You know, neither praise nor blame should move the wise man. So you should be wise enough to take both. You know, when you are successful, people celebrate you. When you are a failure, people blame you. And it's the same people. So you have to understand that. And when you understand that, when you are ready to take that, it doesn't bother you. And you basically go on the way you do things. And you don't have to change the way you do things because people blame you. Because you have the strategy, you know where you want to go. And you go, you take that path. So that is how you have to face it. So successes and failures come, and that is part of life. It's how you take it. Failures also you don't have to take as failures. Those are lessons, but you have to build on those lessons. If you are failing all the time, then there is something wrong in you. But as strong as successes and failures even out and make it a inclining line, that's all we need.
Earlier you mentioned about the preferences, that we should respect for each other's preferences. And in a company like Lanka Tiles, there must be a diversified workforce, a lot of diversity in it. So how do you go about managing such a diversified workforce towards a common goal?
See, again, as I said, leadership is a psychological thing. You need to understand people and you need to respond to people's different preferences and different thought processes. If you are a Buddhist, if you have heard of, there is a sutta called Khandaka Sutta. Buddha says, why people are different from animals? Animals act the way they think, exactly the way they think. Animals act. But humans don't act like that. Human thinks in one way, acts in another way, and speak in yet another way. So that's a human, right? You need to understand that, right? And if you understand that, you understand people. You understand people. Because, I also probably think in one way, speak in another way, and act in a totally different way. So that's a human psyche, and we need to understand that. So that is how you manage a diversified workforce. And if you understand that diversity is normal and diversity is a standard, and in that standard you manage. That's all.
So you welcome diversity.
Yes.
For diversity, the future work is heavily dependent on the technology.
Yeah.
allocate the right skills to help organization to maintain the sense of competitiveness. So what strategies you use to survive in the market, especially incorporating technology to lead people?
See, it's like this. Today's technology is obsolete tomorrow, right? Today's knowledge is also obsolete tomorrow. So you can't embrace one thing and go on with it forever. I mean, leadership is basically allowing people or selecting people and allowing them to find new knowledge. You have to always encourage people to find new knowledge, bring new technology, bring new strategies, new vision. So, you have to encourage people, you have to allow people, you have to empower people to go and search for new knowledge and bring it to the organization. So that is how you can, any company can survive only like that. Because technologies change all the time and you have to be open-minded to embrace those things. And the most important thing, as I said, is to empower people to go out and bring in new technology, because people make mistakes, but you have to basically make people understand mistakes are only lessons. But overall, if they can bring in new things to drive the company forward, that's good. Because now, say for example, as an organization, as a group, I think we have yesterday's technology in the organization. I mean, we don't have say 1-year-old technology in the organization. Yesterday's technology we have today, and that is how we move forward really. Tomorrow we want to have today's technology in the organization. So we allow people to keep their eyes open to see what developments are taking place in the world, what technological developments are taking place in the world, and how we can bring those technologies to the organization to improve our processes, to improve our customer journey, to improve our employee experience, so that every morning when they wake up, they feel like coming home.
Technology and the knowledge, it expires. We have to constantly learn, constant learning curve. So in that aspect, how do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the group that is contained? And most importantly, how do you intend to become a leader breeder?
See, once again, actually the trick is how much you can empower people, really, how much you can delegate. Because as a leader, I personally believe, if I can stay out of this office longer, the organization will do better, right? Because it is generally CEOs who put people down, who stifle growth of organizations. It's a CEO really. It's not the people, because it's the CEO's attitude that boils down to, or filters down to the employees. So, breeding leaders, as I said, you have to empower people, you have to make people leaders here. Now, say for example, a lot of people don't understand the fact that people respond very differently when they are given opportunities here. Sometimes by looking at a person, we think this person can't do, right? This person can't perform. But if you allow them, if you give them the right opportunity, with the guidance, people do amazing things here. Now, yesterday, we had, for example, fashion show for our employees here, right? And the talent I saw on that ramp was unbelievable. And people actually initially hesitated to come on the ramp when we said we have a fashion show. So, it was the first fashion show we had in the organization. Yesterday, about maybe 15 to 20 young girls and boys, executive staff, they were on the ramp. And after the event, everybody was saying, we want to take part next year. So, I mean, that is the confidence they have. And I couldn't believe that I am seeing people who are working with me. When they were performing as models, right, on a ramp, it was unbelievable. The lesson is that if you give them opportunity, people behave in an amazing way. And that is breeding leaders really. Then you can see how the leadership evolves.
Great thoughts actually.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's now come to the broader concept of Sri Lankan business. Many high achievers in our corporate world have played their part in taking the country and their respective organizations to the next level. So, what is your view on Sri Lankan business leadership? challenges and what factors seems to be common in Sri Lankan business leaders?
See, one thing I would like to say is that I don't believe that we have taken Sri Lanka to the next level. Sri Lanka is at the same level, and for the last 30, 40 years, Sri Lanka has stagnated. We haven't really realized our potential. Actually, with the end of the war, we unlocked that potential, but we could not realize it. And I would put it down to inconsistent and poor policy framework, right? And we did not have the courage and the capacity to drive good policies in a sustainable basis. That is why we are here. And I think that way Sri Lankan leaders also have not, politically as well as business, right? I don't think we have played our role really the way we should have. And specifically talking about the business leaders, the commonality is that, given us, all business leaders like to grow their companies really, right? They are all profit oriented. But profit oriented companies, right, when they make, sometimes people think profit is a dirty word. Profit is not a dirty word, right? Profit is a good word. We have to create value to distribute value. When in a company when the profits are good, the employees are happy, and there is less absenteeism. Retention is better. So profit is a good word. All business leaders are profit driven, and they keep investing money for profit motive. But when they keep investing money, I think they are performing a very virtuous act, because why they invest money? Of course, they want to make money, but in the process, they help the livelihood of a lot of people really. And that is the virtuous thing about business, because business is not selfishness. It's basically more than that. And to me, business is a very sacred thing. It's a very virtuous thing. And you keep investing money, not only yourself, for the people, for the society and the country. And all business leaders have that. But what they don't have is, in my opinion, the drive and the willingness to drive our political situation, the way it should operate for the overall good of the country really. I think that way a lot of business leaders have failed in this country because they haven't played the role they should have played in guiding the political system to make sure that we deliver for the future generation of this country.
So one final question, and I'm very happy that you ended on future generation of Sri Lanka. So this question comes with the future generation. So currently, unfortunately, Sri Lanka is in an economic instability. They're trying to get this up and have a strong economy. And Lanka Tiles is doing their part to kind of making this economy strong. So what advice do you have for the younger generation of Sri Lanka in order to strengthen this economy?
See, that one, actually, I feel very sad when we speak to young people, because if you speak to 100 people today, 100 young people today, 100 youth today, 99 of them want to leave this country, right? We have this situation in our organizations also. A lot of young engineers, young IT professionals, qualified people, they all want to go overseas. I signed several letters, per week at least, certifying their employment qualifications and things like that for visa purposes. So I feel very sad that young people are trying to leave this country. And why is that? They want to go to a country that is run well. And if we run this country, these people will remain here. They will live here. And people who have gone overseas also will come back here. Right? So my advice always to young people is, don't go, stay. Together, we have to build this country, and we have to have faith in this country. I received my education 100% in Sri Lanka, and my children received their education 100% in Sri Lanka. And for my education, it's the public who paid. For my children's education, it's a public who pay. So we have a duty to play our role really. At least, giving fresh hope to young people. Tell them, stay, don't go. The future is not going to be so dark, and we have to make it bright really. That is the dream we have really. And we have to make that dream come true. And that is what I tell young people really. Don't go. Okay, you have a bad patch, but things will improve. We have to make things improve really. And if we just sit back and think things will work out, things will improve, it's going to be right one day, it's not going to be right. It's not going to improve. We have to make things improve really. We have a role to play, and we need to play that role.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Jayasekara. We learned a lot on leadership and